30-minute advanced practice. My name is Aelea, and I'm so looking forward to guiding you through your practice today. So today we're working our way into a shape called shoulder stand. So if you have a block available, I invite you to grab it because it's going to be helpful for giving you a few options along the way. So when we use our blocks today, we're going to be using this largest surface towards the ground with these two longer edges parallel to the top and bottom of your mat. So even if you want to take your block, just put it beside you like this, that's going to help you later on to just grab it really easily, and it's going to be available for you. The other thing to keep in mind when we say advanced is that for a practice like this, what I'm really looking for with advanced is that I don't have to coach you through every single step of the way. I can say something like take a vinyasa, and you know what those movements are, you feel comfortable doing them, and you feel comfortable taking the option that's best for you. So that doesn't always mean taking everything as full out as possible. It might mean nurturing yourself a little bit today if you have injuries, if you're feeling any discomfort, and just listening to what your body is telling you. So let's begin. If you have to go grab your block, go grab it and then place it near your mat. And then we're going to start today in child's pose. So you make your way into your mat. Your knees are going to be about mat distance apart. Bring your big toes together and then reach your arms forward. Forehead will connect with the ground. And this is an active child's pose. So you're pressing your palms into the ground like you're trying to push the mat forward and away from you. And this creates length through the spine. As we're here in child's pose, just begin noticing your breath. Notice how the inhale feels as you fill up the body with air, expanding through the belly, through the back body. And then notice how the body feels when you exhale. Everything just softens down. Here you can begin to lengthen your inhales and your exhales. So just taking that little bit longer to take in that full inhale. And taking that little bit longer, matching the exhale length to that of the inhale. Beautiful. On your next inhale, you're pressing your hands into the mat. You lift the forehead off the ground, and then exhale, walk your hands towards the right. You'll bring your forehead back down. Keep pressing through the hands, that same sensation of pressing the floor forward and away. And your left sit bone will stay connected to that left heel. Feel length through the whole left side of the body. Next inhale, forehead lifts. We walk our hands through center and then over to the left side. Again, pressing those hands into the ground, forehead connects, and right sit bone connects to right heel. Feel the stretch through the whole right side of the body. Continue with those lengthened inhales and exhales as you move. Next inhale, forehead lifts. Walk our hands through center. Forehead comes back down. Now we're going to walk our palms so that they come together above our head. Biceps are nice and close to the head. Then we bend at the elbows. Maybe you can walk your elbows forward a couple centimeters or maybe even just a millimeter or two. Fingertips are reaching for the ceiling, and then gently press in through the elbows. You'll feel this through the armpits, into the shoulders. Just notice where it is that you are feeling this in your body. Next inhale, release the arms so their palms face down, forehead lifts, and we're just going to kind of slither ourselves forward. So come forward all the way down, chest meets the floor. Feet are going to be hip distance apart here. You're going to walk your hands to be wider than mat width apart, fingertips connect, and then forehead on the ground. Press the tops of your feet into the mat. Belly button towards spine, so you're going to lengthen your tailbone towards your heels. And then inhale, press into the fingertips. Start to bring yourself up for striking cobra. And then exhale, slowly peel yourself all the way back to the mat. Inhale, lifting your chest off. Exhale, slowly melting back down. Last cycle, inhale, lifting up, belly button still towards the spine here. You're still using your core. And then exhale, you come down, forehead connects, and palms come beside the low ribs. Even as you're here, just add a gentle press into the floor. Inhale through baby cobra. And then exhale, forehead comes back down. Reach the hands towards the back of the room now. Palms are going to face you. Shoulder blades are on the back. You're reaching. Inhale, forehead lifts. Locust pose. So we're going to start here. This is option 1 for you today. So again, you're pressing the tops of the feet into the ground. Belly button is towards the spine, so core is engaged all around, working the back as well as the front. And then exhale, we lower forehead back down. Inhale, we rise up again. You can keep the feet on the floor, or this time you lift through the feet. So notice if your lifting was bending through your knees, you actually want to think of reaching those toes for the back of the room. Beautiful job. And then as you exhale, feet come back down, forehead connects. We're going to keep those arms reaching though. Last time, we come up. So your options, option 1, staying here, feet on the floor. Option 2, reaching those toes back, feet lift. Or option 3, you bend through the knees, grab for the ankles, flex through the feet. From here, you're going to press the ankles into the hands, feeling that lift through the chest. Now again, we're still keeping our core engaged. Ankles stay planted above the knees, so you're not opening up wide. One more inhale here. You've got this. And then exhale, we slowly lower down. Palms plant beside the low ribs. Forehead connects to the ground. Roll the shoulder blades onto the back. Tuck those toes under. Inhale, press up through modified plank. And then we find ourselves in tabletop. Doing a few rounds of cat-cow here. Untuck the toes. And then inhale, tailbone lifts, belly drops. Chest shines forward and you look forward. Exhale, press into the hands, the tops of the feet, round the spine, look towards the belly button. 2 more just like that. Inhale, find your cow back. Exhale, cat back. You're like a cat on Halloween here. Last cycle. Beautiful job. On your inhale, finding your neutral tabletop. And then you're going to walk your hands towards your knees. And we come to stand on our knees. So we're going to take a couple rounds of camel pose here. So camel pose is a great prep for shoulder stand because we're going to be holding our hands the exact same way when we get into this shape later on. So we're going to take our hands, fingertips face down, onto our low back. You're going to take your thumbs and kind of wrap them around your side body here. Pressing the tops of the feet into the mat, just baby pose here for camel. We're going to start by inhaling, reach through the chest, look up, and then belly button towards spine. So even though we're kind of taking this back bend here, we're still engaging through the core. Feel that sensation of taking your low ribs and your hip bones and trying to squeeze them together. And then exhale, come back up through neutral, gaze forward. One more time, inhale, chest lifts, look up, press those hips forward while still engaging through the core. And then exhale, come through neutral spine, and then we allow ourselves to sit on our heels, palms rest faced up, just a breath, allowing the spine to come back to normal after those little baby back bends. Take an inhale and exhale. Next inhale, we're going to find our way into tabletop. And then we're going to find our way, of course, into downward facing dog. Pedal out your feet here. Really find length through the spine by pressing in through the hands. Beautiful job. Take one more inhale here. And then exhale, look towards the hands. Walk, step, or hop your feet forward, whatever works best for you in your body. And then find a forward fold. Half lift here. So for our half lift, we're going to bring our hands to heart center and reach the crown of our head away from our tail, finding a flat back. So here, this flat back, we're really using our core to help us stay upright here. Notice if your weight's really far back in your heels, try to find it somewhere in the middle. And then exhale, fold forward, hands can stay at heart center, reach the crown of your head for the ground. Inhale, find that flat back again. Breathing here. Unclench your jaw. Notice if you're gripping in any area of the body that doesn't need to be working that hard, and then exhale, you fold. Last time, inhale, find your flat back. And then exhale, you fold, hands plant. Take a big step back with the right foot, and then we walk all of our fingers and our toes towards the right side. We find ourselves in a wide-legged forward fold. Now, if you have your block, this can be helpful for you depending how open the backs of your legs are. So inhale, find that half lift again. Hands can be on the block or on the ground. We're pressing into the outside edges of the feet, and we feel the inner arches start to light up here. We're going to take that left palm, plant it in the middle, right beneath your nose. And then inhale, that right arm reaches forward and it starts to come up. Follow your gaze. And we come into a nice little twist. Exhale, that right arm is going to reach back forward and down, replacing the left palm. Inhale, left arm reaches forward and up. Follow your thumb, find that twist. And then exhale, it comes back down. One more cycle. Inhale, right arm reaches forward and up, finding a twist, reaching crown away from tail. And then exhale, right hand comes back down. Inhale, sweeping forward with the left hand, finding that twist. And then exhale, left hand comes down. You can take that block, place it behind you. Again, walk all 10 fingers and 10 toes towards the top of the mat. Step back, downward facing dog. Now we're going to come through seated, and I'm going to show you a way to do that, our little crossing at the ankle. It's a way to progress into hopping forward. So we'll start just by taking that right knee in towards the chest, point the toes, take your weight forward, and take the top of the foot towards the ground near the left-hand side of the mat. Cross that left ankle behind so you're on the tops of your feet, pressing in through the hands, and then slowly lower your sit bones to the mat. Coming into boat pose here. So sit bones about middle of the mat, shoulder blades on the back, hands can start on the backs of the legs, and just start to lean back, walk yourself back, and then we come into boat pose. Shins parallel with the ceiling, arms are reaching forward. Inhale here, and then exhale, cross right ankle over top of right. You're gonna hug your heels in towards your body, and then keeping the ankles crossed, let your heels come to the floor. Plant your hands beside you, press in, lift up your sit bones. Now lift up that right heel, left heel, see if you can hover, and then come back down. Coming back to boat pose, inhale here, find your boat pose right away. Lifted through the chest, arms reaching forward. And now we cross this time, left ankle over top of right. Hug those heels in towards the body, flex the feet, heels connect. Palms plant beside you, inhale, press into the ground. This time lift your left heel first, right heel, see if you can get a hover, and then lower back down. One more time, inhale, find your boat pose. Now this time, cross left or ankle in front, your choice, whatever you like more. Bring those heels in towards the body, flex the feet, heels connect. Plant your palms on the ground, press up. Lift the front ankle, the right, see if you can get your hover, and then you come down. Beautiful job. Adjust yourself back to the middle of your mat. Legs can reach forward. And we're gonna do some reverse table with coming with our sit bones through behind us. So for your body, you might wanna get a gauge of where your hips are, because your hips are gonna have to shoot back behind you, and kind of set your palms there so you have space. Now you can have your fingertips facing forward if you'd like. I like having my fingertips facing out. It helps me really bring my shoulders onto my back so there's opening through my chest. From here, you plant your feet. Inhale, think of reaching your tailbone towards your knees and come up into a nice reverse table. Shoulder blades are on your back, look up. belly button towards spine, one inhale here, and then exhale, we start to lower. So you can lower and stay here, or you start to push through the heels, sending your sit bones behind you, finding this lovely lift using the core. Inhale, we come back through, nice reverse table. Exhale, straightening those legs, lifting through the sit bones, beautiful. One more time, inhale, come on up, reverse table. And then exhale, shooting those sit bones through that gap between your arms, and then we lower down. Your feet are going to be about hip distance apart here. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Arms are coming right in between the feet here. So as we're in this forward fold, I want you to think of a couple things. The first is our core is engaged so much so that it's like someone has a belt around you and they're trying to pull you behind, but at the same time, you're trying to reach forward. So you feel that tension of your core really working, like all this is pulling back to be engaged, but you're trying to reach forward. So this is a lot of core work here, even though it probably doesn't look like it. One more inhale. And then exhale, you're going to start to rise up, but again, that tension. So it's like someone's pulling you up behind you, but you're trying to keep reaching forward. So again, lots and lots of core work. Let your hands trace your legs. And then we come up. From here, sit bones to the middle of the mat. Let's roll down onto our spine, coming into our shoulder stand variations. So to start, let's just find our way onto our mat. Palms rest face up. And then reach the soles of your feet for the ceiling. Now, if you're already thinking, I don't know how much I want to do shoulder stand today, this is a great option for you. It's just an inversion. Lots of great benefits. And this can be a nice way, still engaging through the core with your hips and heels in line. But you're not adding in the extra effort of actually getting your body right above your shoulders. We'll do one more inhale here. And then exhale, knees to chest, feet come down to the ground. We're going to take our palms, face them down beside us in a few rounds of bridge pose here. So as you inhale, tailbone already starts tucking towards the knees. Feel that core engaged. And exhale, press into the feet. Slowly, slowly, slowly start to lift your spine off the ground. Take an inhale here. And then exhale, you slowly lower one little vertebra at a time, all the way until your low back connects with the ground. Take an inhale and an exhale. Next inhale, again, start by tucking that tailbone towards the spine. Think of shortening the distance between your lower ribs and your hip bones. And then exhale, we start to press up. So you're feeling this deep, deep core engagement the entire time you're lifting up. And then exhale, we slowly lower back down. We'll do one more just like that. Inhale. And exhale, you press up. Inhaling here. And then exhale, you slowly lower down. So for shoulder stand, we don't want to move our neck at all. So a great option for you is just to watch me for your next few options. And then after you see and you decide what you want to take, you just go back the minute or two and then join in. So we don't want to move the neck at all. When we have all of our weight in our head and our shoulders, our neck is in a really vulnerable spot. So we want to make sure we protect it by not moving it. So your first option is going to be to take your block. We're going to still find that inhale, tucking the tailbone towards the knees, engagement through the core. Exhale, you press up through the feet, and you're just going to slide the block right under your sacrum. So right kind of at your low back area, and you find this option here. This is a great place to be. Another option from here is then you start to reach the soles of the feet for the ceiling. So this is starting to get some of that weight in through the head and the shoulders. Nice introduction to shoulder stand. If you've never done it before, this can be a great way to kind of start this practice. Knees would tuck into the chest, soles of the feet come down to the ground, press into the feet, block releases. Now, if you want to come right into shoulder stand, you're going to take your palms face down beside you. You're going to use them for support here. From here, knees tuck in towards the chest, and then give yourself a little lift using the core. Legs start to reach up above your head, and we find that positioning with the hands that we had in our other pose earlier. So your fingertips are reaching up towards the sky, thumbs are around the waist for support. Now, as you're here, you're really reaching through the toes, trying to reach them for the ceiling. Think of squeezing your inner thighs together. Find that same core engagement. And again, you're not turning your neck here. The weight is in your shoulders. You're pressing your arms into the ground to try to get that extra lift. And then to come out when you're ready, we start just by slowly bending the knees towards the forehead. Now from here, we're going to start to find that same sensation that we had in that forward fold earlier, that idea of someone pulling us with a strap around our waist while also trying to keep our fold. That's going to help keep our core engaged. So start just by releasing your feet above your head. And then using your hands for support, you start to use that core and slowly start to lower your hips all the way back down to the ground. At one point, you can release the hands down for support. Legs are extending out long. Use that core to bring them all the way down until they meet the mat. Beautiful job. So those are your options. You can always stop the video here, go back, work one of your ways through, and then we meet here. Beautiful. Take an inhale and an exhale. Next inhale, we bend the knees, plant the soles of the feet about hip distance apart, and just slowly let the knees fall from side to side. Nice little release for the low back here, because that posture can be a lot on our low back. Beautiful. From here, arms reach up above the head. You're going to kind of do a crunch to come all the way up. You can hold on to the backs of the legs if you need. From here, we cross at the ankles. We're going to roll ourselves all the way over, and then we step back, right foot, left foot, nice high plank. Inhale here, exhale, start to lower down. Take a vinyasa, so whatever option works best for you. Maybe you're lowering all the way down, you're halfway. You come to your upward facing dog, cobra, baby cobra, and then we meet in downward facing dog. Now we did that little step forward before through the tops of the feet with crossed ankles. You can do that again, or you can start working on a little hop through here. So for a hop through, one variation that you start with is just bending that right knee in, crossing the ankle, and then you're gonna hop, cross the left ankle behind, and bring your sit bones through. Legs shoot out. And there we find ourselves in our nice seated position. We're gonna come into a nice seated twist here. Legs are extending out long in front of you. Bend that right leg, plant the sole of the right foot on the outside of the left knee. Inhale, right arm reaches up. Exhale, right hand plants behind you. You're gonna scoop up that right knee with your left arm. Left foot is flexed. You're gonna actually press into that right foot, and then press this right leg into your left arm. Find that little bit of tension to help feel a stretch through the outside of the right hip. Gaze can start to turn over top of the right shoulder. Breathing deeply here, finding the twist coming from your core. Next, inhale, start by turning your gaze forward. And then exhale, we release the arms, release that right leg out long. We're gonna switch sides now. Inhale, left knee bends, plant the sole of the left foot on the outside of the right knee. Inhale, left arm lifts up nice and high, and then exhale, that left arm reaches behind you for the ground. Right elbow crease holds on to left leg, and again, keep that right foot flexed. Press the sole of the left foot into the ground. Find the tension of left knee into right forearm and vice versa, and then twisting, gaze over top of that left shoulder. Don't forget to breathe here. Unclench your jaw. Find a bit of softening through the face. Next inhale, start by bringing the gaze forward first. Release the twist, legs reach out long. Finding a forward fold here, inhale, arms reach up high, and then exhale, fold forward. So a few options for you. You can really be gripping for the feet, using the elbows to try to get your chest to your knees. You could let your palms rest beside you, just release the weight of the head down. Take whatever feels best for you. I like reaching for the soles of my feet, then adding a nice little rock from side to side. Beautiful job. Next inhale, bring yourself up. We're going to bring the soles of our feet together for a nice butterfly pose. Inhale. Again, reach the crown of your head up nice and high. Hands can be on the shins, and exhale, fold forward, using the elbows on the inner thighs to help open them up. If you wanted to here, you could take a more passive version, adding extra length between the heels and the body, threading your forearms under your thighs, palms face up, and then allowing your upper body to fold and just rest over top of your legs. Take the variation that feels best for you. And again, don't forget to breathe here, just relaxing in to one of our final shapes of our practice today. Your next inhale, if you're in this more passive version, just start by taking your arms out from underneath your legs and pressing up. If you're in the more active version, you start to press yourself all the way up. We'll all take our hands on our knees to close through our legs. Find yourself in the middle of your mat. Release the legs out long and wide, about mat width apart. Sit up nice and tall, arms reach forward. And then again, finding that idea of core engagement, like someone is pulling you while you're also trying to reach, that little bit of tension. Slowly, slowly, slowly start to lower yourself all the way down onto your back. Lower as slowly as you possibly can. And then when you finish, allow your palms to rest face up beside you. They can be quite wide, taking the backs of the hands right off the mat. Toes flop open. And here you find your final rest. Notice if there's anywhere in the body that is talking to you right now. So if you feel anything through the low back, through the shoulders, through the hips, through the chest. And as you breathe, imagine that as you're inhaling, you're sending space and air and warmth into that area. Your eyes can soften shut here. You can do a little body scan from your toes all the way up your legs, through the mid-body, the arms, the neck, the forehead, the top of the head, and just relax anything that's working that doesn't need to be. We'll take a few more cycles of breath here. On your next inhale, you begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Maybe you want to make circles with the wrists or the ankles. And then you'll inhale, reach the arms up above the head, point through the toes, take a big, big stretch like you're a cat waking up from a nap. And then exhale, just soften into the space you've created. Next inhale, reach the arms, reach through the toes. And then exhale, bend the knees, plant the soles of the feet onto the earth, and then roll onto your left or right side. Use the top arm, press it into the ground as you make your way to seated. When you arrive, palms can come together at heart center, eyes will stay shut, and gently tuck your chin towards your chest. Gently turn the corners of your mouth up towards your ears, giving yourself a little smile for a job well done. Perhaps you tried something new today, or perhaps you were just cautious and you acknowledged where your body was at and you didn't take things too extreme, and that's beautiful as well. That, to me, is an advanced practice, listening to your body and accepting it for where it is today. You can gently flutter your eyes open whenever you're ready. Thank you so much for joining me for your practice today.